this morning. I am very excited since number one, it's Mondays and I love Mondays. Two, I'm my most favorite places on the planet, which is a room full of books. So also a book lover. Be sure to let me know in the comments and bring up your comments at the end and we'll just chat back and forth. So today we're going to just dive right in. We're going to talk about why every mom needs a personal brand, in my humble opinion. So if we've not yet met, hi, my name is Lydia, and I am all about empowering women to show up for their purpose and to do so unapologetically. When I talk about personal brand, we're going to just take a quick, just call up the elephant. Okay. So typically, when we hear about or see personal brand, it's this idea of being a professional, polished, this is how I show up look. I'm not talking about that. For those who are in that space, in terms of that's the work that they do, that's awesome. And it's very easy for the mom who's a stay at home mom who may just be in a place of, I'm just attempting to just wrangle life with little people, to just not even have that on my radar. I'm just attempting to just keep my head above water. Or even more intense is the when I look at social media, when I look at Instagram, when I look at YouTube, when I look at Pinterest, when I look at Facebook, and I'm seeing these moms, it's like they have a photographer that's following them around everywhere, capturing all of these cute, beautiful moments. And that's so not me. I totally relate. Okay. And so that's not what I mean when I'm talking about personal brand by any means. What I mean when I say personal brand is that you take personal ownership for how you show up in your world. You're taking personal ownership of what sets you apart. So, if the term um, personal uniqueness makes more sense, or um, why every mom needs to connect to her unique gifting, that's what I'm talking about. But here's the cool thing. Something I love to do is take a look at an idea or a concept that applies in one place and go, I wonder how we could tweak it and make it work for someplace else. And in this case, with personal brand, it's very much that. So it's going, there's this idea that when you're in business that you're very strategic and you have these pieces and whatnot, yet somehow, and I was feeling this even before I was a mom, but definitely after motherhood, of just, I am helter skelter. I am just, I feel like a hot mess. um, I'm lucky if I remember to put on shoes before I leave the house, let alone take care of the needs of other little people to do what they need to do. And so it's not that I'm necessarily saying, okay, I'm going to run myself like a company. I'm going to run myself, like I have, all these LinkedIn pages and whatnot. It's not that. But it's saying, how is it that I can look at what I bring that's special to the world and be very strategic and very unapologetic about it? That is at the heart of what I do. That is at the heart of what I desire for every woman to walk in. And I say that especially to moms because, again, we tend to feel like I'm just pushed off to the side. It doesn't really matter. I'm just here to tend to the needs of little ones. And then we'll just see what happens next. My life is put on hold. We're not putting our life on hold. We're choosing to show up. And this is how we do it. So, just some real quick kind of hack tips on that process of personal brand. So, number one, we're going to start with the hard. Yeah, we're going to start with the hard one first. Is check out who is in your audience and friend space. I just had a really phenomenal conversation with a client just before hopping on here. And what really just spoke to me and went, wow, that is awesome, was that she figured out very early in life that when she was choosing to make moves and to take her life in a positive direction, that it meant that she was going to need to let some folk go, that it meant that she was going to need to remove some relationships, to disconnect from people who would not be serving in her greater purpose. Okay. So when I say that, I'm not saying that start a whole new Facebook profile or you start a whole new Instagram. What I am saying is check out what's flowing through your feed. The things that you're looking at, the messages that you're getting, are they encouraging you to be and to show up as the best version of yourself? Or are they causing you to feel either anger or resentment or bitterness or anything that is not uplifting and encouraging to you? Okay. So, any space that's happening in with whomever that is, be willing to, yeah, I think on Facebook you have the option to kind of hide for a certain number of days and see how you feel. Especially with, again, just anything that is not going to help you to get your mind in the proper direction, just hide it. Just no need. Okay. Second huge tip, I cannot overemphasize this enough. The same way that we look at businesses, and a good business is going to have a vision statement, they're going to have a mission statement, and they know what their values are. The same applies to us as moms. So, does that mean that I have written somewhere a vision and mission statement? Somewhere, actually, I do. And that's because it's something that I've chosen to develop over time. But what's most important, and the just foundation of where it starts, is determining and getting real clear on what your core values are. I will make sure to post a link for the core values worksheet. You'll have that in the caption section. And that is just an excellent tool to go, okay, let me figure out what matters most to me. What is it that is just non-negotiable? What are the things that I desire for my family to be about, for my own personal life to be about, for me to then model and teach to my kids? Because whatever they see me doing, they're experiencing my personal brand, right? So what is it that I'm going to choose to show up for? And what is it that I'm choosing to not engage in? That's a whole process. There's a whole once you click on the link and you grab that principle, you'll also see that it links to a whole kind of walkthrough of all those different steps. Okay. The third part, and the one that I feel like we underestimate when it comes to our mothering, is being willing to look at how you experienced, what your life experience has been like thus far. Now, there are all sorts of different moms. There are the super nurturing moms. I'm not really that. I'm getting there, sort of, and I'm okay if I'm not fully there. There's the disconnected mom. That was very much me, not realizing that I was going through PPD and had other things that were happening that just, again, put my brain in just my brain is just, it does different things, right? Okay. So it was being able to look at how I experienced life before and why it is that all those pieces came together with the way I show up as a mom. So for you, it may be that you experienced years of being able to carry or have a child, so that now when you do have a child, there's a deep connection point there with why children are meaningful to you. For some, it may be that becoming a mom caused you to feel a launch in your career, going, I'm going to choose to go after that dream so that my kids can see that they can do whatever's possible. And maybe that, you may have thought and experienced from your own childhood story that parenting was scary and horrible because that was how you experienced your parents. Not right or wrong. Every human is doing the best they can. Sometimes it looks really ugly because there's a lot of hurt, and I get it. That still is part of your story, and it's part of why you are where you are now, and it's part of why the mom that you are now called and, I dare I say, assigned to be, is to be able to work through that process. And so much of the time when it comes to our story, we tend to just shy away from all that and just go, nope, life starts here once I had a kid. It's just, no, there's a whole lot that came beforehand that needs to be, that we can learn from and that we can glean from. Okay, with that, there is a phenomenal process. It's called Spark that I highly encourage you to check out. We're actually going to be doing a live session, not this Friday, but the next Friday. So Friday, December 10th. And it's going to be about that unpacking process of how is it that I can look at my own story. And as I'm looking at what I've experienced, what I've grown in, the places that have shaped me and molded me into who I am, how is it that I can then bring a place of compassion and bring a place of understanding and bring a place of hope to the people that are around me? That ultimately, ladies, is the reason why being in a personal brand space, regardless of whether or not you have a business, is so, so important. There could easily be a mom that you were friends with from when you were in college, that you're still friends on Facebook, that needs to see how you are working through and navigating your space, who needs to be in a place of your mentorship and your encouragement, just the same way that there may be someone that you can learn from and find encouragement from because they know what it's like to go through that experience of a child who's different, or they know what it's like to have had a traumatic childhood and now figuring out how to navigate being a wife and a mom. All of those parts of our stories are so valuable. And that's when we go through and we unpack it, we see just how beautiful and powerful it is. It makes for an awesome, awesome ending. Okay. So if that's something you'd love to be a part of, I'd love to have you with us in that workshop. I'll make sure to post the link and the information in the caption as well. But do know this, that a personal brand is not something that's just for the people who are doing business and doing all these, that are in business and are doing all these things that are just kind of, oh, look, they're just over the top. No, it's about anyone who's choosing to look at their life and to share their life as a way of ministering and as a way of encouraging and providing hope to other people. Honestly, the world would be a pretty amazing place if instead of hiding and acting like everything is put together and is perfect, like we see so many times, and we were willing to be real and honest with each other, we'd find ourselves in a much healthier and glorious place because we'd be walking in just such great redeemed beauty. My word. So, hope you have an amazing rest of your day. I am so grateful for you, and I will talk with you later. Bye.